Assistant. GC Radio Hub connects you to a universe of content. Check out our wonderful interviews on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, live music shows and podcasts, all at your fingertips. Android TV, Apple TV, Roku, Fire Stick TV. We're there wherever you are, because the only way to stay connected is to get connected. Download the GC Radio Hub app today and let your world come alive.
Hey everybody, thank y'all for tapping in. It's your favorite cousin Chief at GC Radio. And today we have the privilege of having the one and only, my friend, my buddy, the legendary Jay King in the building. How you doing, Jay?
I'm fine. How you doing, Chief?
Man, challenged and inspired, brother.
Where you guys find those? Where y'all find those old ass pictures, man?
There's a thing called the internet, Jay. They archive some of everything.
Oh well. Yo, tell your archive just to that I'm a little older now. Not as young as I used to be.
I don't think none of us are, Jay, but I'll let her know. Yeah. So we're gonna start today out, Jay. I'm gonna ask you this: where are you from?
I'm from Sacramento, Vallejo, Alaska. Well, I'm from Northern California. So I'm born in Orville, California, which is about 45 minutes away from Sacramento. I'm raised in Sacramento, Vallejo, Oakland, San Francisco, lived in all those places.
Okay. So how'd you get started in music, Jay?
By accident. I was really a dancer. I was really a popper, you know. And I was in Alaska. I was living in Alaska. I was in the Air Force. I lasted a year. And I got out in Alaska and I stayed in Alaska. And I had a dance group there. And I was really into arts. Alaska was a really good place for me. So whenever people ask me where I'm from, I say Sacramento, Vallejo, Alaska, because those are the three most important parts of my life where things happened for me. And while I was in Alaska, started a dance group, was involved in politics, became a page in the Senate. I think I was the first Black page that Alaska ever had in the Senate in 83, 84. And then I started rapping and brought Run DMC to Alaska. And Leor Cohen was their road manager. That's how far I go back with Run DMC. It's like that, and that's the way it is. And then I came back to California, work with Michael Cooper from Confunction. I brought Confunction to Alaska as well. And then Michael Cooper and I made a relationship, started working with me on music, came down, did a rap group called Frost. Me and one of the guys that danced with me, Marquis, and we created this group Frost. We had a song called Take a Break, and we did a couple of songs, and we got an offer for a 12-inch from Polygram because that's where Confunction was, and we had the same management. They turned down the 12-inch because they wanted a whole album. And then Polygram told them to kick rocks, in essence telling us to kick rocks. We released the record independently on a label that our managers, a guy named Randy Rand, and this label called Macola, they created this label Triangle, and we put out a song called The Battle Beat. So now it's time, people, you could take a seat because we're marching forward with our battle beat. We're storming, we're raging, we're on the war path, that kind of stuff. And the record went double would have been a hit if it would have been good. And then I produced the Timex Social Club record, Rumors. And that's really how it happened. That simple. Not a whole bunch of, abracadabra, nothing, just simple. I think people want to hear a story that's not necessarily real.
So, so you did the song "Rumors." I mean, how did it happen? You guys just playing around in the studio, or you
No,
know?
no, no. The Marcus, um, Mark had a brother in Alaska,
Uh-huh.
and he knew me, and he said, "Hey, um, my brother has this record. Um, I'd like you to hear it and produce it for him." And he played it for me, and I liked it, and so I said, "Yeah, I'll produce it." And he did the artwork for Rumors, and and then um, and and it all just came together. It was really everything happened really fast. It was like it wasn't. I wish I could say that. Daryl Thompson was his name, and Daryl was really the one that connected us. And Marcus, his brother, was and Alex Hill and Michael Marshall. And so I produced the record, and they hated it. They hated what I did with their record. They said it sucked, and they were mad. And so it wasn't. And then I started promoting the record, getting out on the road, trying to make the record happen. And while I was out, the record was blowing up. And while I was gone, they signed a deal with somebody else.
Wow.
Mhm.
So you get out there and you guys make this hit record. You market it and they
It's
sign
not
with
a hit
somebody
yet.
else.
It's,
And
it's not a
the
it's not a hit yet. When it first
okay,
started, it's just a record. You got to make a record into a hit. You got to do all the right things, and we had to do the right things. But they weren't necessarily excited by it.
so let me ask this: what was the motivation to do the song "Rumors"? I understand what it's about. He said, she said, people talking, but his brother came up with the whole concept, and then you produced it from there.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a concept. It was a demo. They already had a demo record. I listened to the
Okay.
demo. I liked it, and I said, I think I can make this better. And I did what I thought would make it better. They didn't like it.
Okay. So that's when it came on Atomic Social Club. So how did Club Nouveau come about?
Well, when Rumors came out, and then those guys signed with Daniel Records, we was already working on new music, and so Situation Number 9 and the outline of Why You Treat Me So Bad was being done already, and we hadn't done Jealousy yet. We wrote Jealousy as a mimic to Rumors, so people would know that we were the same people that worked on Rumors. So started writing all the songs, and we really didn't write all the songs. There were only 7 songs, really 6 songs on that album. The 7th song was just a reinterpolation of the track for Lean on Me, which was Pump It Up. But that was all we did. We didn't do anything more than that. No, we did. We did one more song. We did To Prove My Love, the track To Prove My Love, but we didn't use it because I hadn't written nothing yet. And then once I wrote To Prove My Love, I used it for Michael Cooper. So what you heard on the album is all that we did. And but that was supposed to be their album. Timing
So
Social Club.
what was the first song you ever wrote?
Shit,
Was that
man, I wrote a bunch of songs. Um, you know, I don't know because I've been writing my whole life. I wrote words. I wrote songs to Confunction when I was in high school. Um, so I used to put lyrics on Michael Cooper's doorstep. Confunction was a big deal in Vallejo. You know,
Wow,
yeah. And so yeah.
man, it's got to be amazing. Jay, who are some of the people that you wrote for and worked with over the years?
I don't know. When you say what are some of the people I worked with,
From the
you're
production
saying
stand.
I don't know. A little bit of everybody. Of course, Michael Cooper. Um, I had a group called LaRue that I really loved. I thought were really good. I had a group called New Choice that I really liked. I had Brian Morgan, who did SWV. He had a group called Cache Devoir, Shante Moore, Vanilla Ice, Rodney O, Gary Taylor. Um, a lot of people, it's been, it's been a bunch of folks in a bunch of different ways. I worked with people in so many different ways. Johnny Guitar Watson was my friend, and when he was working on his last album before he passed, I was involved with that. Rick James when he was working on the Wonderful album, and then the album after that once he got out of prison. I've worked with a lot of people. I've had the David Ruffin and Eddie Kendricks. I got cussed out by David Ruffin early on in my career.
Dave's a cool piece. Why did he cuss you out?
Because I was dumb. So I'm 25 years old, and Bob Buziak, who's the president of MCA Records, calls me. I mean, RCA Records. That's going to turn into BMG, but at this time, their RCA and Bertelsmann Management Group is going to buy them. But he calls me and says, "Hey, I would like for you to produce a song on David Ruffin and Eddie Kendricks." I said, "Okay." He said, "I would like you to remake Family Affair." So me and Dave Agent work on the Family Affair track. And Dave Agent is the sixth member of Club Nouveau that isn't there when we start, but as we get going, I bring him into the group. And we come up with this track, an idea, and so now I have David Ruffin and Eddie Kendricks in Sacramento at Moon Studios. And so Dave Ruffin walks out of the limo, out the car, into the studio, and says, "Young child grows up today. Somebody wants to love her." And I mean, and he's killing me. He just killed it. And I'm like, "Great." So I said, "Let's do it again." So he said, "All right." So he sings it again. This time he says, "Young child grows up today. Somebody," and it's a totally different melody. So
Right.
I said, "Hey, Dave, can you sing it like you sang it the first time?" And he said, "Well, I want to do that." And I said, "I just need you to, if you can do it like you did it the first time." He said, "I don't want to do it like I did it the first time." So I said, so I'm saying something. He said, "Did you erase my vocals?" And I said, "Yeah, we need to do it over." He said, "Motherfucker, you erase my vocals? You stupid motherfucker. You a motherfucking producer? Is your dumb ass a mother?" And so Eddie Kendrick is like, "Dave, man, he's young, man. Fuck that. This motherfucker's a producer." So he literally called me a stupid motherfucker. It had to be 100 times in like a 30-second thing. "You stupid motherfucker, and he was just motherfucking me. And I knew then that I wasn't. I had hit records, but I wasn't the producer that I would eventually become. I just happened to have hit records. I didn't know the etiquette of production. I didn't understand when you're in the studio with a legendary vocalist like that you comp the vocals. I didn't know anything about comping. I didn't know anything about making slave reels so you can put 100 vocals down. And that's how I learned. So a lot of the stuff I learned that way. And one of the greatest lessons I learned from David Ruffin calling me a bag of motherfuckers.
Wow.
True
That
story.
had to be a hard pill to swallow. He had to have thick skin, man, because like you said, you was young, you learning, and you working with legends.
The
And
shit was
that's like a
funny.
ton of life.
Okay. It was funny to the motherfucker. It was funny. It was funny then. It's funnier now because I'm walking in thinking I'm big shit. You cold diarrhea, nigga. Dave. If you was on the stick, nigga, you wouldn't be shit on a stick. That's what Dave taught me.
Wow. So answer this question. What does Club Nouveau mean? How'd y'all come up with Club Nouveau?
Club Nouveau means new club in French. And the way we came up with Club Nouveau was we wanted to be the new club because Timex Social Club, so we wanted to be the new club, but everybody said it was too generic. And we were flying from Dallas or somewhere. We had performed someplace, and we were flying from Dallas, and Val had this nouveau riche. She had found newfound wealth, nouveau riche. So I go to my lawyer and I said, "Hey, we want to be Club Nouveau Riche," and he said, "Nouveau riche has negative connotations." So we dropped the riche and just Club Nouveau, and it was Val's idea for Nouveau Riche, which means the new club in French.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back. We got some people asking questions in the audience that's tapped in. After take this quick commercial break, we're going to come back, okay?
I should have put you somewhere when
GC Radio is giving away to some of its lucky listeners Beats by Dre earbuds. That's right, Beats by Dre earbuds. It's no cost to its listeners to register. Just go to gcradiohub.com and enter the free raffle. So don't hesitate. Go to gcradiohub.com, click on the earbud, register, and cross your fingers, because you could be one of the lucky listeners. These earbuds are priced at $169, and you can win a pair for free. That's right, free of charge to you. Just enter the raffle at gcradiohub.com and stay tuned to our live broadcast, The Cuzzin CHIEEF Show, Afro Beats with King Glow, Uncut After Dark with Freaky and Friends, the Mississippi King on the Southern Soul Superstar Station. Stay tuned to any of those live shows and listen out for your name being called. At GC Radio, you have to get connected to stay connected. At gcradiohub.com.
Thank y'all for hanging in with us. We're back with more of Jay King on the Cuzzin CHIEEF Show, Proper GC Radio. Jay, I got a couple of people. I'm going to read some comments to you. There's a young lady named Soulful Styles said that she was great that you explained what happened. She never got to hear what actually happened behind the group. And she wanted to know.
That's Mo Moon.
Well, Mo heard this. She over here for Jay. Don't have to get her for that one. They want to know, how did you make a difference between Timex Social Club and Club Nouveau when you guys switched over?
Well, I mean, we made the difference because the one group is called Timex Social Club, the other group is called Club Nouveau. So that's one way you make the difference. And then, you make videos. And then, and back then, Lee Bailey had Radioscope. And Radioscope told the story, and, and it was in all the trades and the rag magazines. And by the way, Chief, in your description, it says the Cuzzin CHIEEF Show powered by Get COCCECTED, not Get Connected. You might want to change. You got COCCECTED. As opposed to CONNECTED. he connected. Just the
Okay,
FYI.
yeah. On that,
I'm just fixing it. I'm just telling you. So
I appreciate it.
yeah, no problem. Thank God that I pay attention to detail.
Yes,
You know, yeah, your people already use pictures from the 1900s and shit. Now they got get COCCECTED. You see it?
yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Right now, real quick. Also, Jay, read the other comment. There's somebody by the name of OG Dancer, said 87 and 90, Mr. Badass. Said you've always been solid and shout out way to go back to the days in Alaska.
Yeah.
AKA Try Me Record Store, 4th Avenue
Oh
Mall.
man, Try Me Records. Glenn Campbell. Glenn Campbell was important to my development in Alaska. Glenn Campbell got records there before we got records. Before they got records in California, we had records in Alaska because Glenn Campbell was such a forward-thinking record store owner. And Remember Me Records and Try Me Records was Glenn Campbell, and he was very instrumental in the development of J. King and my career. In Alaska. Much love for Glenn.
Cool. So my question is, Jay, I ask this to everybody. The first time you heard one of your hits, one of your songs on the radio, where were you and what was that experience like, hearing your music actually on the radio? Because being on the radio was a big thing back in the day.
Yeah, I didn't have that experience. I was working for my record, so I didn't. And if there's an experience that I miss, is that experience of people used to say the first time you hear your record on the radio, it's gonna be magical. First time I heard my record on the radio, I was madder than a motherfucker because I had spent so much money because I'm traveling around. You got to kiss everybody's ass and you got to, shuck and jive and all this bullshit when music should be able to stand on its own merit. It's not how the game was. So I had to learn the game. I was in the middle of the game. So I didn't get that feeling that a lot of people say they have. I never had the opportunity to have that feeling. Even today, I just appreciate the fact that my music is on the radio.
Yeah, because a lot of people say different things. I was just wondering what your experience like. Being in the industry, Jay, for quite some time now. What advice would you advise somebody entering the game now? What's two of the most important things you want them to concentrate on first if actually trying to enter the industry?
I got to be honest with you. I don't know what to tell them to concentrate on first because it's a different. I tell them what I do. I love music. Music is how I breathe. So, you have to love music, and money can't be the motivator. Creation have to be the motivator. Creativity, uh, being the most honest creator that you can be, and presenting the people a genuine emotion. Because when you do, they feel it. That's why I listen to people like Pete Velasco and love them. Or if I listen to a Lucky Witherspoon record or hear Joe Levy sing, I just love great artistry. The first time I heard Tone by Ricky Jones, it moved me. When I heard Naturally by Gerald Richardson, it did something to me when I heard Sean Rayford's saxophone and just how honest it was. It moved me. So you have to be in music honestly, and not with the idea to make money, but with the idea to create a vibration that is acceptable to the music God that's honest, true, and sincere. The rest of it take care of itself.
Yeah, I would like to play a little clip real quick. Let's take a look at this.
Who is it?
Yo, D, it's me, man. Open up.
What's the password?
COD, right?
Yeah, you know it. Just a minute, man. Let me get some
this off, sir. Get up against the wall. Get up, man. What you talking about? Get up against that goddamn. Get up. This is my house. Oh, man. Why you hitting me, man? Oh, man. Get up. What the hell going on, man? Get up against the wall. Hey, man. Hey, man. That costs a lot of money.
Situation.
I'm stuck in this rut again. Ooh, I don't know what to do. And I haven't got a friend in the world. No, baby, not even you. But situation number 2 ain't bad, but number 9 ain't good. But I thought I was riding really high, 'cause I'm here, hanging in Hollywood.
Oh, I hate to tell you, but you really need to check yourself. The life that you're living is gonna catch up to you. Oh, I think you need some help. Hey, yeah. Situation number 9, blowing my mind.
Jay, that song right there, I don't know what it do for you, bro, but it took me back to a time when I had a little red Nissan Sentra, some Inkies on it, going around getting $250 tickets for noise pollution, bumping your music, getting cussed out by my mom, keep giving OPD all my money. But what is it like to look back at songs like this and see that you, when you perform, you have generations, you know, grandmoms, children's, grandkids that grew up to your music, still rocking with it, and big fans and know the words. What is that like to look in the audience and see them not only appreciate what you do, but to know the songs and know the words?
Well, I mean,
years later.
it's humbling. You know, and that's when you know how powerful music is. That's when you know, that there's a bunch of music made in every era. But of the bunches of music that's made, only a handful of those songs live beyond the era that it was created in. And I don't care what era it is, when doo-wop, only a handful of doo-wop records made it out of the era that you listen to even today. The 60s, there were only a handful of the records from the 60s, handful from the 70s. I'm from the 80s, and my songs are part of those handful. And that is humbling. And you're thankful to God that that you get to be part of the ones that live beyond the era that the music was created. Even dance steps live today. We still do those dance steps. That's part of the music. When people see us do that, they scream. They go, ah.
Man, I like the Michael Jackson step, man. Don't ever take that out the routine. Every time I watch you perform, I look for it like, wait, it's coming. So I just got a question. Someone asked me, does the original group still sing together? Is everybody still together in
No. So Denny and Tommy were really just producers that worked with me. They never wanted to tour. We were just a production team. So after the first album, they didn't come back out again. Valerie and Samuel, me and Val were together all the way through to 2021. From 86 to 21, it was me and Val. In 21, Val left. Sam came back in 11 and was back. So he was with me in 86 and 87, and then left in 88 and was gone from 88 till 2011. And then 2011, he came back. From 2011 or 2000, maybe it was 2010. He came back to 2021. And then I replaced them with Jay Ali and Tirza. Tirza did 2 years with me, got pregnant. And then she had a baby. And then the young lady who sat in for her, Antrice, took her place. Tears came back for a little while, and then Antrese is back. So it's me, Jay Ali, and Antrese.
Gregory Hershey said, "Great music lives forever." Janet Marie says, "We go back so far. It's beautiful. It feels just like yesterday. What an honor." So, like he said, it's
So Janet
soothing to
Marie
see.
and Greg Horsley both were in high school with me and
Wow.
junior high. Yeah.
Jay, I mean, we go way back. It was an honor when I met you because I used to listen to your music, and we tried to work together in Oakland, a couple of projects and doing some other things now. And like I said, your music is like timeless, bro. I play it a lot. I'm not just saying it because you're on my show and I'm on your show, just because I'm keeping in rotation. It's one of the songs that, a few of your music I keep, like The Situation Number 9, Why You Treat Me So Bad never comes out the car. I always like listening to that because the message in your song is the songs, when we're good songs that people can relate to endlessly because it's about something. It's a movement, people can identify with it, even today.
Right. Well, I mean, I think that's what, I listen to Stevie Wonder like that. I listen to Marvin Gaye like that. I listen to What's Going On like it was made yesterday because that's what it feels like. That's what music does. That's what music is. Music is a living entity. It's the it's a soundtrack to people's lives. So I get to be part of people's lives as a musical soundtrack, and it's humbling and it's honorable for a musician to be able to touch people that way.
You did a great job with it, Jay. Honestly, did a wonderful thing. I want to play this next check right here, if you don't mind. We'll share it with the public.
Well, you asking me, or you just playing it?
Well, I'm gonna play it and just let you know we have to check another joint.
Okay.
Tell you why these things continue to happen to me, but some people get so jealous of the smallest of all things. I try to help some friends to help themselves to get their lives intact. They came out spreading rumors, now I have to come out spreading facts. Let me tell you how it started and where it all began. I guess I was a fool to try and help my broken social friends. They told me if I'd help them, they'd be in debt for life. But when I turn my back to give support, they stab me with a knife. Jealousy, no, I don't want the bad talk around me. I don't need jealousy, no, I don't want the bad talk around me. You came out spreading rumors because you were so jealous. You didn't understand that we were on your side. Tell me why not, fellas? You let some people guide you in the wrong direction. From the truth you cannot hide, so don't go look for no protection. I didn't understand it then, and you know I just can't now. You know I tried to help you out, and now it's me you're trying to clown. But let me tell you, partner, you won't come out ahead. All this jealousy will do is make you lose it all instead.
Man, listen to that, man. I could put about 17 names to that song of my own. Wonderful song, man. Wonderful song.
I don't know, wonderful, but I did write it about those dudes. I wrote it about the time at Social Club. So,
Yeah, but
I noticed my lips. My lips were really puffy back then, right? And I'm like, why were my lips? What happened to my lips? Because as I got older, it seemed like I started getting white man lips. But what our lips thin with age, primarily due to a natural decrease in collagen and elastin production, which are essential for maintaining skin volume and elasticity. Other factors like sun damage, smoking, and repetitive facial expressions can accelerate this process. So, I've never smoked. So I know that didn't have anything to do with it. No real sun damage. So I think it was because of collagen. My lips have gotten thinner. I just noticed how full my lips were back then.
Natasha Borden says she's loving the throwback music and loving Club Nouveau and loving you, Jay. Keep it moving. Janet Marie came back and said we came out jamming to those songs.
Uh-huh.
And Gregory Horsey said jealousy is a true story. He just told us facts the way they were.
Yeah. By the way, thinning lips can be successfully reversed using a number of different methods. So we'll talk about that on Kings in the Morning tomorrow.
Snitchy from Mercy, yeah, Jay. Lips thin with age.
But it can be reversed. It can be reversed.
We got to give OJ some of that formula, so maybe his color tone will come back and be so bright red, and he can get his down. Give him a tip or two.
Yeah.
So Jay, what is it like touring right now on the second half of your career, and what more do we have to look for in Club Nouveau and J. King?
That's a great question. I love touring now. Back then, it was very much a grind because because I was new to what I was doing, and producing records back then was a totally different thing than producing a record today. Back then, it was just a more tedious process. How you had to stripe the tape and put tones on, and then you had to line up the tones so that you could start recording. It was just a very tedious process. And it was hard to get into the mode and out of the mode. So when you were on tour, you were really disconnected from the process of producing records because you couldn't just bring a disc with you or a hard drive and plug it into a studio. You had to bring these big 2-inch reels, that were very heavy, that had all this tape on it. So it was a tedious process because I was producing records sometimes and on tour. Today, you go on tour, you just go, you're doing dates, so you can fly in and fly out. You fly into a city, that'll be your starting point, and then you rent some 15 passenger vans, and you go from the city to city to city, wherever you are, and then you catch a flight out at the city, the last date, and you come home. Generally, it's over the weekend. Every now and then, you might get a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but you're going to be home Sunday or Monday. And and it's a season for it. For me, the season starts somewhere around February and ends somewhere around the end of October. So from November, December, January, I don't work. I go back out again in February, and so that's how. It's fun. It's like a little mini vacations. You get to appreciate the fact that people still appreciate the music and they love you and they want to see you, and they prove it by buying tickets to come see you, and you get to say thank you to them. And you start to see how they have passed the music on from one generation to the next, because you'll see a grandmother and grandfather, or a great grandmother and grandmother or grandfather, the father or mother, the daughter, the niece. You'll see generations, and that's what's cool.
So basically, now you're touring, you get to soak it in more. It's less strenuous from working and grinding, and you can absorb the moment more.
Yeah, because before, you had to do interviews. You had to go to the radio station. It was just going to be a whole process that you had to do. You had a new record, so you were promoting it, and people had, it was a different kind of thing.
Wonderful. So with technology day, when social media and web pages, that takes a lot of the heavy lifting, promoting your own stuff and having your own following and movement. So it makes it more creative. Is it easier now to come up independent and own your own masters? And do you own your own masters, Jay?
Of course, I mean, everybody on their own masters now, because they recorded the song. So people would say it's easier, it's harder. It's harder because you don't have a machine behind you. A record company was a machine, and it was a well-oiled machine. It knew what it was supposed to do. It knew how to do it. And what it would do is it would put your record through the machine. And if your record caught on with the public, then the machine would know what to do, how to develop it, how to build it, how to grow it, how to move it out further. If the record didn't do well, the machine would push it out the way and let the next record come out. So that was the plus and minus of the machine. That if it connected, it could go, go, go. If it didn't, it got pushed out because it was like a conveyor belt. Today, you're the machine. But, and you think because it's social media, I hear people say, I'm going viral or so-and-so went viral. If it's not penetrating to where hundreds of millions of people have seen it and are sharing it, then it's not viral. Now you can get a lot of views, but it don't make it viral. And you're not the only one. Like right now, we're doing this interview. No disrespect to you, Chief, but it ain't like the world is watching. There's a handful of people that are watching this interview, and and for them it's the world because it's in their world. But we got to deal with realities, and we got to deal with facts. And the reality and the fact is this: most people that put music out are going to be too lazy to do the real hard work that it takes to break a record through independently. Even when you have the money, it's a lot harder than it looks. Look, I had a record called "It's All Right." The record did well in markets that it played. It went to number 27 on the charts. I spent $60,000 on radio, but it wasn't impactful the way I thought it should have been. When I look at the whole overall release of it, $60,000 at radio plus all of the ancillaries, I spent $75,000, $80,000. Now, who had that kind of money to spend on a release? And that's on a single.
That's on one song. You're right.
Yeah. So it's not as, so when I hear people say, I own my own masters, what does that mean? So if you ask me, would I rather own the masters or would I rather have a machine behind me that's going to spend the money? I'm going to pick the machine.
Good point. It's a good point. Reverend Ali said he is the world, and Jenna Marie says 27 is her lucky number. I don't know what that means, but she said let you know 27 is her lucky number. It's amazing. And you're right, Jay. Like you said, people with platforms and get a group of people and a lot of people tapping in. And I tell people the truth when I interview them. I said, I don't know what viral in your definition is, but I'm not viral. But I do have a huge platform. And, the most we probably get are maybe 50,000 people that watch on YouTube and another 20,000 on Facebook. And that's good coverage. But I see people saying I can get 1 million views and you see 5 comments and 2 likes. You got a lot of bots. Ain't nobody watching it, but you and the person you interview.
Well, you got 15 watching now. So that's a long way from 50,000. So you might get 50,000 views over a period of time, but nigga, 50,000 people ain't watching your.
No. I'm talking about not at one time. I'm talking about over a week or two. Because we take the shorts and we put them back in the search engine. Not at one time, most definitely. And it's a grind to get that. Being truthful.
Yeah, I'll be keeping it on the 1,000 level.
I'm always like that, Jay, because I know you're a man of facts. Jay will go to the internet and call your ass out in 2 seconds. Hold on. Stop the presses. You're lying, and give you all the facts. So I know that from day one, Jay, and I appreciate that about you. One thing I can say, Jay, you've always been consistent, dude. when you say Jay King, if you know him, you know him. If you don't know him, then you better watch out. You know what to expect. But if you know Jay King, it is what it is.
I had this one guy was telling people that saying some shit about me, saying he knew me and everything. I didn't know the nigga, but I called him. And then he said, no, I wasn't talking about you. There's another guy named Jay King. Yeah, nigga, don't do that. Don't do that.
It's a definite no. I'm gonna play this right here, right quick.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Swallow your pride if I have been.
You could have got a better recording of it.
Yeah, but it's the energy I want to put with the music.
Why you pick the same songs? Why didn't you go to find some of our other imaginative videos like "Oh Happy Day" or "What Kind of Love" or "You Ain't No Friend of Mine"? You know, those people see them all the time.
Well, those are one that impacted me, and a lot of listeners when saw the flyer requested those, Jay. So I try to, the 15, 25 requests that I got, those are the ones we went with. And me and the was paying attention, identify with those. But when you did the Lean on Me joint, what was the inspiration from on that one?
It was a great song. And Denzel Foster, who was one of my writing partners and production partners here, he and Thomas McElroy. It was really his idea. The first version of it I didn't like. And so we kept working until we found the right version. We found the right way to do it. And we just, the one thing I've always loved about Bill Withers is his ability to write songs that can be interpreted 100 different ways. But you could hear Lean on Me literally 100 different ways, and it could be 100 different songs because it's that good. That's the brilliance of his writing. And we just felt like, to be honest with you, we didn't know it was going to be a hit record. We didn't make that record and say, watch this hit. Oh, this is going to be one of them ones. Not what happened. We made a record, and it happened. And, it didn't happen at black radio. It happened at pop radio. It didn't even go number one black. It went number one pop. It went number two black. So, it was the record that brought us into the mainstream of the music business. Yeah, that's what that was.
Jay, I'm glad you did this interview with me, and not because we're friends, because I know another side of you. And And when I interview people, I try to bring that side out so people get to identify who you are. And it's working because everybody know you. The comments over here is flooding. I can't read them all how fast they coming up. But those that don't know, you get another side of you. Now, the Kings in the Morning, Jay King wear many hats. Reverend Love, and a couple other characters.
Yeah.
You need a comedy show. But how did you come up with the Kings in the Morning, man? What started that thing out?
Wow. So Kings in the Morning was Lynn Tolliver. Well, we wanted to do a morning show. And at first, Lynn Tolliver, we did it on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And Lynn Tolliver said, "You, if you really want to have an impact, it has to be 5 days a week." So Lynn Tolliver is the reason why it was 5 days a week. And then originally it was me, Lynn, Red Wine, Johnny Davis, and my cousin Anthony. And then Anthony was gone. And then he lasted for about 6 months or so. And then Simi Braxton came in. And then Ali came in. And so it was just and then there were people that would just call in, and then they became part of the show. And so a lot of the people, Kente and guys like that, they were people that used to just call in, and they became part of Kings in the Morning, a lot like you did. You watched us, and then then you had to go through Fred. Fred tried to charge you. Remember when Fred tried to charge you?
Yeah, he made me intern for about 4 months.
and then I cussed Fred out. Remember the time I cussed Fred out for trying to charge you?
Yep.
And it's just a show that just continued to develop itself and create itself. And so, but that's how it started. It started from the way I see it, which was a show I did on Sundays from 2 to 4 with Robert Redwine. And Robert Redwine was the beginning of all of it, because I used to call Robert Redwine early in the morning, and I'd say, "Robert, are you asleep?" "KJ, I'm just waking up, KJ. "Oh yeah, babe." And I'd say, "Robert, do you know why I have money and you don't?" Because you have hit records, KJ." "No, Robert, because I'm up and you're still sleeping. And an early bird gets the worm. You're a bum, Robert. Bums don't get worms." And so Robert would just laugh, and then, we call other people. And then one day he said, "We should do a radio show." And then I called Joan, who worked for me at the time, and she did all the research. And she found Blog Talk. And then that's how we started it. And then she didn't like the way I was talking to Robert on the show, and so she resigned. So I had to learn how to work the board myself, which was the best thing that can happen, because that's how I discovered the mute button. And then and then Joan came back.
You're a master with the mute button.
And then Joan came back. And then she realized this is just a shtick. These guys, this is just a silly game that these guys play with each other. And from there, it all developed.
Wonderful, man. Wonderful. So, not only Kings in the Morning, tell us a little bit more about the Jay King show you do in the evening. What inspired you to do that show?
Now, when you say the one I do at KBLA, or the one I do on KDEE?
Both.
Well, KDEE started from me doing the J. King Network. And Alan Warren was running for city council, and he was a friend of mine. And I used to fly to Sacramento from LA to support him in what he was doing. And he won. And when he won, Derek Allen, DOA, was talking to me one day and said, "Man, Jay, we have a local radio station that don't even play local music." So I called Allen. I said, "Man, who owns the local radio station?" He said, Aubrey Stone. Aubrey Stone was the president of the California Black Chamber. So he said, I'm gonna set up a meeting with you two. So he set up a meeting with me and Aubrey. I asked him why wasn't he playing local artists. He said, I only have two DJs, one during the week, one on the weekend. I can't, I can't tell these guys what to play, blah, blah, blah. And so I said I would help them raise money because it was a community radio station. I said, I'll raise money for you and I'll do a show. But it took us about a year to work it all out. So by the time we worked it out, because I don't want nobody telling me what to do, and I would raise money. And so that's what happened. I was able to do traffic jams and then raise money. And then I outraised money more than anybody year over year. And, and so Aubrey Stone passed away and I became the president of the chamber, but I kept doing radio. And then Tavis Smiley started KBLA, which is the only Black-owned talk radio station west of the Mississippi. And by that time, I was doing investments. And so a group of us invested in KBLA. And I said, hey, do you guys have space? And he said, yeah, but I can't pay you. And I said, don't worry about it. I'll go find sponsors. And I went out and found sponsors for that show. And for the first few years, I had sponsors. And then I just dropped them after a while and just continued to do the show because I like doing it.
Man, it got to be a feeling doing something you love, man. I mean, everybody don't get the opportunity to do it, but
Everybody
it
has
comes
the opportunity to do something they love. Everybody. The people that don't do something they love are people that don't make the opportunity. They don't believe in the possibility. And so when you don't believe in possibility, opportunity will always pass you by. There's a lot of really talented people that are super lazy. They want it to be handed to them. They want it to be easy. It ain't easy. It's a process. And most people don't want to do that process. And so yeah, but I don't believe that. I believe everybody on the planet has the opportunity to have a fruitful life, but it requires them to get beyond the small thinking of other people who've been shrinking their thinking. There's a lot of thinker shrinkers around y'all.
Right, Jay. We got 2 C's every morning. That's not Cousin Chief. It's a chance to do anything and a choice to do something and do nothing. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right. So, Jay, there's a award show coming up. Tell us a little bit about that and how people can get involved and find out more about it.
Well, it's the Greater Sacramento Urban Music Awards. And I created it because I believe the future is creative economies, where creative people they create enough revenue in a city, enough commerce, they generate enough ancillary dollars floating in the city, but they're not organized. So that's what we're going to do in Sacramento. And the Greater Sacramento Urban Music Awards is going to recognize and promote local talent and talents from outside our community that play on our local radio stations. And so the award show will be September 17th. It's a Wednesday night so that it doesn't affect what musicians might be doing on the weekends. And there's a lot of people nominated. It's going to be a great event for people that want to find out more about it and they want to vote. Anybody can vote. Just go to SACABSUMA-awards-2025. And there they can vote. There they can purchase tickets. And there they can find out what the Greater Sacramento Urban Music Awards are about.
We'll have that link up on our website by this Saturday. I'll get that from Angie and everything. We have that up so that people watch the interview and can catch on to that and see it constantly instead of hitting you up on Facebook or hitting me up. They can see that, and we're also echoing on our other social media. Rev Ali said Tony Dwayne needs a Lifetime Achievement Award.
He will. He'll get one. Tell Rev Ali I said to just enjoy the goddamn show and quit trying to. He always trying to boss something. That's why he got his privileges taken already. Always.
Ali, when I get down there in Sac, man, I'm gonna have to get you a award if you don't pick it up from Jay House. I'm gonna have to sneak in there and get it. Jay, if you do the ideal of doing the intimate shows by the pool, man, I can't perform, so I don't want to perform. Maybe I can be bodyguard because Fred said he's gonna be doing the valet parking, collecting money from parking. He got his cones
Fred
and his vest ready.
always trying to collect some money.
Right on. So, Jay, is there anything you want to say to people before we wrap this up, man? We really enjoyed this evening, all the wonderful comments and stories you tell us in memory, and we got to have you back. But anything you want to say in closing to those that's tapped in?
No, life is just an interesting journey. It really is. It baffles me sometimes. I wonder why God made it this way, but it ain't for me to know. I just get better at being better. In a world that promotes negativity and separation and hate, be the good parts, be the love, be the peace, be the joy, be the laughter. That's the thing I love about Kings in the Morning. It's a bunch of characters that play these silly games that make people laugh. And so there are people that aren't necessarily having the best life experiences, that for 2 hours in the morning get to laugh at the silly antics of Kings in the Morning, whether it's Reverend Ali calling, telling me I got a zoo and animals for groupies, or Fred telling me that my hairline is just to cut my hair off because my hair is already falling out, or whatever it is, or Kente telling us that Babylon is falling. It is really an interesting show, and it's fun. It's fun for me, and I'm thankful to God that I get to understand my life at this time. I'm thankful to God that I get to that I know not to take human beings so serious, because there's just silly little beings that are scared, that have small minds, and that are trying to shrink minds to match theirs. Because when you use your big mind, you become responsible for what your big mind puts out, and the big mind puts out a lot of big ideas. Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I want to say. That's all. Is that it, nigga? Damn. Is he done? Is this over with?
We got a storm out here, man, and the internet's not our friend right now. But
Oh,
before,
I was wondering what happened to you. I said, I'm getting ready to hang up.
I paid the bill, so for the financial things and Mother Nature thing. I want to play this other video right quick. One of your biggest records that I love that had a lot of impact on not only music but the culture. So Jay, before we go, let me ask you, what was the inspiration around this song? Whose concept was this, and how did it come about?
Love is a mother figure. So, a broken heart make you write some shit.
That's what Lenny said. And Lenny said broken heart made him millions of dollars.
Do that too.
So he had to flip it. But Jay, like I said, man, can you give your social media and people can tap in and follow you, get attached to all the wonderful things you do on other shows? Can you give your website and media?
Yeah, my website is clubnouveau.me and Club Nouveau, NOUVEAU.me. My personal website is jayking.me, JAYKING.me. On Instagram, I am the official Jay King. And on Facebook, I'm JAYKING, the number 3.
All right. Janet Marie said you look the same, Jay. Reverend Lee says you don't need no more damn groupies. Don't get that damn information
out. Janet Marie is very kind. I look so different that when I see me sometimes, I'm like, damn, is that me right there? So I know I don't look the same. But thank you, Janet Marie. I appreciate you.
Right. Well, everybody tapped in. Thank y'all for checking me out and standing in and getting to listen to me and my buddy have a conversation and expose y'all to a lot of stuff you may have not known. Jay, I tell you this all the time, brother. You probably saved my life. You're inspiration to a lot of people. Those that don't know, I'm still a big dude, but I was a hell of a bigger dude. And I called Jay one morning and I said, Jay, that's good you walking every morning. And he said, motherfucker, won't you walk with me? Jay got away with words. And I'm like, why the hell I don't walk with him? Shit, why not? And it inspired me to get healthier and 200 pounds lighter. And like I said, I probably wouldn't even be here, man. So you inspire and move a lot of people, bro, without knowing. And I like to thank you, dude, honestly, bro, because you probably
You know what?
one of the influences ever saved my life.
Well, I see this guy, Raspberry Sky. Is he from Sacramento?
Yes, sir. He's one of the GC radio artists we're pushing.
Then why didn't the motherfucker ever send me? Why didn't he ever send me MP3s? If he in Sacramento, that means either he listening to 97.5 FM KDEE, and he's hearing me play a lot of local artists, and he ain't sending this shit, which is dumb, or he's not listening. Nigga, you sent it to me. I said this nigga.
I don't know.
Why ain't he sending it? Because I heard what you sent me and I liked it. As Fred would say, I liked it. but
Fred needs some vowels with that, man. Don't make me say no vowels.
but I need an MP3 that I can that I can send to them. And he should have been, he could have been nominated. His music is good enough. But tell him, he got to get involved. There's a lot of creatives. That's what I want to do, is make sure that we connect all the creatives in Sacramento together so we can all work together.
Well, I'll make sure you send it to you tonight after the show. I'm going to hit him up. And he's tapped in and listen, so I'll make sure you get it to you, Jay.
All right.
All right. So thank y'all for tapping in. Like I said, me and my buddy get to hang out again. My boy Rev Ali in the back. And I'm going to say my famous words I said at the end of the show. We hope we leave you better than receive it. A smile on your face and grace anywhere you go. You can always tap into GC Radio at GCRadioHub.com. If you get the interview, want to see it again, you can go to Apple Podcasts, you go to Spotify, you go to iHeartRadio and type in GC Radio there. You can catch the interviews and also on YouTube. So with that in mind, I would like to say a thank you again to my friend and my buddy Jay King and all those tapped in. We'll see y'all next time.
In a world of endless noise, one sound cuts through. GC Radio Hub. Your world, your sound. Imagine your favorite voices following you everywhere. From your smartphone to your car, your smart TV, even your virtual assistant. GC Radio Hub connects you to a universe of content. Check out our wonderful interviews on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio live music shows and podcasts, all at your fingertips. Android TV, Apple TV, Roku, Fire Stick TV. We're there wherever you are, because the only way to stay connected is to get connected. Download the GC Radio Hub app today and let your world come alive.